Welcome into the Baltimore Ravens Rundown. Hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday evening. Hopefully the Sunday scaries haven't hit just quite yet. Coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about a bullet that the Baltimore Ravens big time dodged, okay? And then second half of today's show, we're going to get to the Flax questions, okay? Everything they wanted to ask me after the Baltimore Ravens took down the Cleveland Browns earlier today. Speaking of today, did you love what you saw? 41 points. Scoop and score touchdown for Roquan Smith. If you did, do me one big favor. Hit that thumbs up button and like today's video if you liked what you saw from Baltimore Ravens getting back in that win column. So Adam Schefter just so casually dropped this bomb on us earlier today. The Ravens planned to take Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, but before Baltimore could turn in the card, the former Colorado star let it be known that he didn't want to be on a roster with Lamar Jackson where he would be a backup. Wow, guys, this was surprising and honestly, thank God, right? This is a bullet dodged by Baltimore for multiple reasons, okay? Number one, it's obvious that Shedeur Sanders is not the quarterback that everybody thought he was going to be, given the fact that he's the quarterback 3 on that Browns roster. And so using a 5th-round pick on a quarterback 3, probably not a good decision anyway. But regardless of that, this is a perfect example of who Shedeur Sanders is. He's entitled. He's a me guy. Doesn't really care about the team. He fell all the way to the 5th round. He was a 5th-round draft pick. They were about to draft him. And he said, no, I don't think I should be a backup. I'm going to be behind Lamar. I don't want to be behind Lamar. Now, I get it. You can bet on yourself. That's part of this, right? And for that, I'm never going to shame anybody for it. But you are having, at that point, over 5 rounds have gone by. 4.5 rounds have gone by. You haven't gotten drafted yet. And a team is offering you, about to draft you, and you say, no, I don't want to be a backup. Guys, I think Shedeur Sanders has a good skill set. I think there's a chance he could still be a quarterback in this league. I know, you could call me crazy. That might be crazy. But he is what Baltimore doesn't need right now. He's not necessarily all about the team. It's a lot about Shedeur. Just ask and look at the kind of circus that's going around in Cleveland right now. Everything's about him. And that's not what this team needs. This team needs to focus on the team. It needs to be 53 guys, one common goal, all for the Baltimore Ravens. And I don't know if Shedeur would be a part of that common goal, and I think he'd take away a little bit from that. I need you guys to let me know. Do you wish Baltimore drafted Shedeur? Crazy question. Never thought I'd ask it, but I want to hear from the flock. If you do wish that, go ahead, give me a yes in the comment section. And if you don't wish that, let me know by dropping me a no down below. Personally, if I'm you guys, I've already made my case. I'm saying no, but I am very, very curious to hear what you guys have to say. On to the second half of today's show. The questions from the flock. 21 Savage Cheese or Chesse. I'm going to say cheese. Joey, how do you feel about the offense's performance in the first half of the game and what they did to improve? Great question. I thought it was lacking. I thought it was stagnant. I thought it was uninspired. They just looked like they were lost. The offensive line couldn't get a push. Right? So you couldn't run the football. The passing game was so-so. Like, Lamar had some great throws, had some poor throws. He didn't have a ton of time either. Derrick Henry was non-existent because of that offensive line. A couple of drops from some wide receivers. It was just like, it was uninspired football. That's what I would say about it. I don't know what they did necessarily to change that. I think they kind of said, hey, we're going to stop forcing the run because they knew it wasn't going well for them. They knew that their offensive line maybe was overmatched by Cleveland's defensive line, which is the best part of Cleveland's team. I will give them that. Regardless, they changed things up, ended up putting 41 on the Cleveland Browns, who held Cincinnati to 17 last week. So that's a good accomplishment. Yuka up next. How do you feel about Jair Alexander's performance so far as a Baltimore Raven? Well, he did not play today. He was a, quote, healthy scratch. I'm not giving up hope on Jair yet. What he showed me in that Buffalo game was horrible. Really bad. But I still also don't think he was 100% healthy. And he hadn't practiced in a very long time. And when you're with a new team and you miss out 3 weeks straight of practice, 4 weeks straight of practice in his case, you're probably going to be a little bit sloppy in your first game back, especially when you miss the last 10 games of your season last year. So I think the Baltimore Ravens made the right call with not having him on the roster today for this game and making him a healthy scratch. I think that was the best thing for him, try to get back to be fully healthy. I think that was the best thing for this team, for the secondary. I still believe in Jair Alexander. If he gets fully healthy, I think he's going to, make some plays for this team late down the stretch. All that I care about is he's good and he's healthy at the end of the season, frankly. Jonathan Chapman up next. Do you think Henry will reach the 2,000-yard mark? No, I don't. Just because it's going to be very, very hard to do. I mean, he didn't get it last year in the regular season, and he was phenomenal last year. And he never had a game quite like this with 23 yards. At least I don't remember him having one. Look, he's going to get close. I think he's going to get well over 1,500, maybe even 1,700. But the 2,000-yard mark, I don't necessarily see that for him this year. And I love Derrick Henry. I think he's one of the best football players in the NFL right now. But 2,000 yards is a lot, and I don't necessarily see him being able to do that this year. Gage, before we get to the next one, we got to tell him about this awesome deal that we've got going at chatsports.com/purple hoodie. That link is in the comment section and description of today's video. And if you click on that link and use code RITZ, that's RITZ, when you are checking out, you're going to get this hoodie for $30. $30. Are you kidding me? It was $70, $40 off with that code. And look, I get it. It was 82 and sunny this morning in Baltimore for that game. It's not necessarily cool yet, but it's going to get cool soon. And when it gets cool, it's not going to be $30 anymore. So take advantage of it now. Use code RITZ, RITZ, chatsports.com/purple hoodie. Attendance squad up next. Excuse me. What the Browns do to stop Henry. How can they prevent that later? So I think what the Browns did is they absolutely just sold out on the run. They said, look, if this team's going to put up points against us, it's not going to be because of Derrick Henry. And it worked. And look, not every team's going to be able to do that because not every team has the personnel to do that. The thing about the Browns is they do. They've got a really, really good defensive line. Obviously, they have Myles Garrett, and they've got some good linebackers as well. So in my opinion, they were able to do that. And also another reason that they were able to do that is because this offensive line necessarily didn't really get that great of a push. Okay? They kind of were knocked off their blocks in run protection or run blocking. So I think what you do to make that change going forward is maybe get going with the pass earlier, because I feel like they were pretty slow getting in the passing game, getting that going. If you get that earlier, you're going to make teams drop more in coverage, play lighter defenses like nickel or dime. And so when that happens, you're going to open up that run subsequently from it. But from a blocking perspective, maybe shifting more tight ends in. I think when you get Pat Ricard back, that's going to help a lot as well. Biggie P, #Ravens. This will be our final question on today's show. It says, #Ravens. How worried are you about the Ravens' offensive line going forward? Biggie, I'm not incredibly worried, if I'm being honest. I still like the guys on there outside of Daniel Faalele. I love Tyler Linderbaum. I love both the tackles. I am starting to like Andrew Voorhees as well. He's put together 2 pretty decent games. Now, are they perfect? No. Can you really do anything about it? No, you can't. So I'm not going to worry about it because I think it's good enough. I think you got good enough players to overcome that. And also, it seems like the sky is falling because they were able to sack Henry. Not Henry. Lamar, 3 times? And Derrick Henry wasn't really able to do much? Guys, that's a damn good defensive line. The Browns don't have much to them. The defensive line is something that they do have. So you got to give them props for that, and that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbled. Tell me, who stood out to you today against Cleveland? Okay? Who's a player? To me, Roquan stood out. DeAndre Hopkins stood out. Devontae Walker stood out. Those are my 3. I want you to give me yours down below in the comment section. And while you're down there, bang, social media, Twitter, Instagram, right there, at Joey Petersen 8. Same handle both. Put that in the comment section and description of today's video. Make sure you give me follow there. Shout out Producer Gage. My name is Joey Petersen. We'll see you next time.